Do you want to know what is the key to your mastermind success? It's knowing your values. So listen in and hear about how knowing your values can help you have a successful mastermind. Welcome to the Breakthrough Mastermind Show. I'm your host, Jen Argue, and I facilitate masterminds for women entrepreneurs who want to grow their businesses to help others and create financial independence. Hi, I'm Jen Argue, and I've been leading masterminds for women entrepreneurs earning 6 and 7 figures for the past 5 years. And I became a licensed therapist 30 years ago and have been licensed in 2 states. So I've had training in doing group therapy with group dynamics, facilitating good discussions in groups, and I have experience too. And one of the things that I've really learned over the years is that when you are running a group, just like as you think about running a company, you want to be very clear on your values. So when it comes to mastermind groups, think about the values that you're going to uphold in that group, just like you do for your company. I was talking with a client earlier today, and they were talking about hiring somebody in their business. And I always come from the perspective of hiring for your values. You want to make sure that the person that's coming into your business is aligned with the values that you have, because typically, if there's frustration between you and somebody else in your business, it's probably because you're out of alignment with your values. That's typically what it comes down to. And so the same can happen in your mastermind. Now, your values for your mastermind don't have to be the same as your company. Although I'm guessing they're going to be aligned, but you might have them a little bit different. So when it comes to this approach, number one, you want to know, what are your values? So you have to identify them. So as you think about what is important to you, as far as the group of people that you want to be facilitating, just like do a brain dump and just get it out on paper. What qualities do you want these people to have? I always like people who come in with a growth mindset, people who are kind, people who are generous, people who are big thinkers. I also like fast action takers. If you have those qualities in the people who are in your group, it's going to create a culture of a group that I think is really exciting. It's really exciting to me. And if I'm the one bringing these people together, I have to enjoy what I'm doing, and you do too. And so do the people in it. And so if they know that this is a value of yours, especially when you're on the discovery call, they can decide if that is something that they are aligned with as well. So to me, I like diversity in my groups. I like there to be a wide variety of perspectives, because that works when we all have a growth mindset, when we can listen to other people and hold differences, a way of looking at things, and be able to discern then, what can I learn from that? How can I take that and apply it to the way that I look at things? And that, to me, really holds the benefits that come from having a growth mindset. Now, you might think of your own values. What values are important to you? Maybe to have people aligned with a certain type of perspective is important to you. Maybe it's people who, whatever it is for you, I don't even want to make it up. Whatever it is for you, just brain dump and get it out there. And then think about, how do you communicate those values? So first, it's figuring out what they are. Second, It's communicating. Now, how do you communicate your values so that you attract people who are aligned? You do it in your marketing. So in all of your marketing, whether it's on social, whether it's on your sales page, on your website, and like I mentioned before, how you market it in the discovery call. So you might be talking to this person thinking, this is such a great fit. I would love to have this person in this group. And then if you want to, I think it's a great idea to bring up your values in that conversation as well, before they say yes and before you agree that they are a good fit for the group. That way, when you're in the group and something could happen that feels out of alignment to you, you can go back and look at that values list and think, what isn't being met here? What value doesn't feel aligned? And then you can go and have a private conversation with that person and say, I'm feeling like we're out of alignment here with something, and I want to bring it up and check it out with you. So that's one way that your values can serve you later on, because things happen in people's lives. And it's a good way to address something that feels misaligned. If that happens, to go back to the values. That is not personal. It's more of just a misalignment of the way that you do things. Third, now that you've identified the values and you've communicated the values, we're going to talk about upholding the values. So the example I just mentioned is a good example of how to uphold them. Another way to uphold them is to revisit them. So sometimes in a group, especially if a group is, let's say, a 12-month group, you can bring up your values once a quarter. And that way, that kind of avoids a situation coming up that you might be misaligned with, because everybody's getting the refresher that these are the core values that we're tending to in this group. So for me, kindness, generosity, a growth-minded perspective, these are things that I really value and I like to see in the group. Kindness doesn't mean that we're always in agreement. We can be in disagreement about a lot of things, but we can still be kind in the process. And respect. So those are things that are important to me. And bringing those up every quarter just kind of helps people to stay on track, to remember the values that are important in the group and to show up upholding those values. So identifying and communicating and upholding, those are all important things to do with your values. Now, if you are an industry leader and you want to bring together a group of people who are fast action takers and the innovators and the disruptors in your industry, a mastermind is a really great structure to provide for them. Now, not everybody has the ability to put together a mastermind group, and you might be at the point in your business where you are in the consulting phase. You have lived a large part of your career being devoted to it and coming out on the top of it, and now people are looking to you for one-on-one consulting. A mastermind is a great option for you because you might have a little bit more space than other people to put together a group like this. And you might have a lot more connections than other people have to be able to put together a group like this. But what I often find is industry leaders are wondering, well, I know how to do one-on-one. I'm not quite sure of my group facilitation skills for a structure like a mastermind. And I am providing the A to Z manual of how to put together your own successful, profitable mastermind. And if you're interested, for that, just look in the description in the show notes, and you'll find the link to my A to Z manual that I'm putting together to make you feel very confident and secure and successful in putting together your own industry-led mastermind. If you found this video helpful, I would just ask you 3 things. First, would you give it a thumbs up? That helps other people to find this as well. Second, would you share it with somebody that would also be interested in masterminds? And third, subscribe to my channel so that you can get more support around leading masterminds for people in your industry.